boys and girls. Today Zadie is reading Johnny Appleseed.
Hi, boys and girls. This is a wonderful story. It's a poem by Reeve Lindbergh with paintings by Kathy Jacobson, and I think you're going to love it, especially since it's right around fall and just such a beautiful time when the leaves are changing. Let's read. Now, this is the inside cover. It has this wonderful map where Johnny Appleseed went on his path to be planting a lot of seeds, which we're going to read about. So let's see what happens. I love the geese flying. In the early days of the American frontier, when most of this nation was still wild, unsettled land, there lived a man of great courage and gentleness who traveled through the wilderness planting apple trees. His name was John Chapman, though he came to be known to generations of Americans as Johnny Appleseed. This is one story about his gift to our country. Have you ever heard of Johnny Appleseed? These apple trees were planted here a century ago. 100 years of springtime bloom. 100 years of snow. Isn't this such a pretty picture? Look at all the detail. 100 apple autumns with the wild geese flying by. 100 years of applesauce and steaming apple pie. The man who planted apple trees once stood here on this land, a sack of seeds upon his back and a Bible in his hand. Miss Nis, I know you love your grandma's applesauce. The spices. Young Hannah Goodwin saw him first, a stranger lean and lorn. His face was thin, his feet were bare, his clothing old and worn. The Goodwin family asked him in to dine and talk a while. America was lonely then. He'd traveled many a mile. You see him? He said he'd gladly stay to sup, but couldn't linger here. He had to go plant apple trees across the great frontier. He said it was a wide, wild land, a lonesome land and long. He said his apples, sharp and sweet, would make the country strong. The family listened while he spoke of forests green and grand, of prairies vast with waving grass, of rivers ribbed in sand. He spoke of families like their own, all moving bravely west, with guns and tots and cooking pots to claim the wilderness. This is just a beautiful picture. Do you see anything in there that you like? What stands out to you?
The sky.
That's beautiful colors. I see some deer hiding in the woods. They're probably curious about the people, and the people are curious about them. Beautiful artwork. He said he'd bring them apple trees, our Lord's gift to the earth. He said the sun would warm his seeds, the rain would give them birth. He said that each good orchard grown would bear fruit as God planned, and give the yearning pioneers a taste of promised land. The Goodwin family wished him well and watched him leave alone. He carried neither gun nor knife, no weapon did he own. For though he walked alone and lorn, through dangerous land and wild, he said he'd harm no creature born, each one was God's own child. See him jumping from the rocks. Look at all those animals, and a bald eagle, bears, bunnies. Young Hannah heard the tales of him all through her growing years, as he brought apples sharp and sweet to other pioneers. She heard he walked through day and night, and through the winds that moan. She heard he walked in snow and rain that chilled him to the bone. And where he walked, she heard he gave his blessing softly thrown, the scattered seeds among the weeds, the sweet fruit wisely grown. Look at that snow, it's so pretty. And the moon. She heard he loved the forest land and all its creatures too. Wild deer and hare, wild wolf and bear, and every bird that flew. She heard the Indians trusted him. He knew the things they knew. Which plants could heal or make a meal, which streams ran clear and true. He walked all trails and heard all tales, his orchards spread and grew, and where he went the deep rich scent of apple blossoms blew. Old Hannah Goodwin saw him last when many years had gone. He came in by the orchard gate, a quiet hour past dawn. Old Hannah knew that gentle smile, that face so long and thin. There was a Bible in his hand. He spoke of where he'd been. He'd walk all through America, and all his seeds he'd sown. He'd planted apples sharp and sweet, and swiftly they had grown. There was spicy apple cider now, out on the western plain. There was applesauce in Iowa, and apple pie in Maine. Apples crossed the wide Missouri and down the Ohio. Sharp and sweet across the land, they made our country grow. Hannah got older, didn't she? And he did too. Wow, look how beautiful. Do you see all the apple trees?
Mm-hmm.
That makes a really pretty picture of the land.
Is that him and her?
I don't think so. I think that's a family, a different family. Old Hannah Goodwin offered thanks for her own trees grown so tall. He said, no thanks were owed to him. The Lord had made them all. To grow a country or a tree takes just a planter who will seed and tend till the end, the earth's best dreams come true. He said farewell and traveled on and did not come again, but in this orchard, sharp and sweet, his apples still remain. Look, she's saying goodbye. Look at that little dog. Mm-hmm. Old Hannah Goodwin talked of him in apple time each year, when the orchard came to harvest and the air was crisp and clear. She'd ask children to remember and to thank the Lord indeed for apples sharp and apples sweet, and Johnny Appleseed. And that's the end. And it says Johnny Appleseed was a real person. Although many of the tales told about him are probably not true, people have been telling Johnny Appleseed stories for almost 200 years, so it is sometimes hard to separate the real history of his life from the legends. And there's more to read there. If you're interested, you could get this book. It's so beautiful. Oh, the pictures, I love it. What do you think, Miss Nis?
I like it.
Yeah, I hope everyone has a delicious apple and thinks of Johnny Appleseed.